Hello everybody, how are you going? And welcome to What Can You Buy for $1 million in Quebec? As we've checked out Toronto, we've checked out Vancouver, we've checked out Saskatchewan and Australia and a whole bundle of different things, but just going into the weird mix of the French-Canadian, what does $1 million get you? And so straight off the bat, we have a whole bundle of very green properties. I'm surprised about how green these all are. I mean, there's not too many, but it's only highlighting this little island in the middle here. I'm kind of interested by the $2.5 million one, 428 a lot. That's crazy, but otherwise, they're all quite cheap. 2 days on Zillow, I mean, that's $275,000. Let's just start out with this. I mean, I do want to get to the million, but what does $275,000 get you? Just starting with the images, it's looking pretty quaint. 3-car garage. Weird how it's a triple or a double-sided entrance. I haven't really seen that in, well, any garages. I don't really know why you would do that, as it feels like one door is going to be blocking the other, but otherwise, it looks like the house is almost as big as the garage is. I mean, it's a very nice-looking lot in terms of it's well-kept. It's minimalistic. It's not overdone in terms of the grass and the landscaping, but man, they're really featuring this garage, aren't they? Where is that part of the garage? Probably, or maybe it's part of the house. And so I can understand it almost looks though it's not finished floors. Is that what I'm looking at there? I mean, maybe that's a stylistic choice considering the rest is all timber, but I don't know. Something about the floors look more like marine ply or that thick plywood that I don't know what you'd really be covering it with otherwise. Moving on to the kitchen now, and I guess also the laundry, though, it does show you why it's going to be on the cheaper end of the spectrum, and because honestly, from the outside, it looks pretty darn good. You'd go, wow, that could be $1 million home, it's 2-story, it's got a big garage, but on the inside, it clearly just, well, 1 isn't renovated, and 2 isn't furnished, and 2 isn't stylized or anything like that. It's older on the inside, and so I do wonder why they chose to do that. Why would you go outside looking all schmick, and inside, I mean, it's got the carpets, but it's clearly not been recently renovated or anything like that. I mean, it doesn't even have paint on half the walls. It doesn't have floor on half the floor. That seems like an attic conversion waiting to happen. It's a little bit of a strange building. But honestly, let's just quickly see if we go back to the actual listing. Depending on where it is, it might be a pretty decent steal. If we go out, if it's anywhere around, wait, is that south of the border? Wait, hang on a minute. That's not in wait. That's not even in Canada. You sly dog. Either way, it's very, very close. So it's good to be getting an idea of what the area is like. I do wonder, however, yeah, look at that, New York, but I do wonder, is there a big difference between USA and Canadian homes that are right on the border or not? Because it would be weird. I mean, you're going to be paying in different currencies, and so if you take that into consideration, but otherwise, there shouldn't be any reason. Like, market value for the population should generally just be determined by the land and surrounding areas. So I would hope for people's sake that there isn't a big difference. But let's just see if we actually come over here and go, oh, I still want to see that big one. But all of these are in New York. So I think I just need to be zooming out a little bit more and seeing what I can actually get. No, I don't want to see any of New York. Show me Quebec. This is crazy though. All of those places were just south of the border or pretty darn close. And so I was coming up and I got rid of the border just to see what was going on. But look, nothing is for sale. How is there nothing for sale? I don't have any price parameters on or anything like that. I mean, if I come out, all of a sudden, boom, they pop in because they're all on the border. Why is it not showing any? That's weird. None in Montreal. Look at them all. Surely something's wrong, because there has to be something in Canada. There's no way that it's just all up in there. Here we go. If I just zoom out and go Quebec, give me something. Is that going to be it? No. Why are you not loading anything in Canada? That's even weirder though. Why does it load a boatload in Vancouver, but nothing in some of the other places like Calgary? Apparently nothing. Oh no, there we go. They're popping in. So let's see. If I come back over here, do they work now? Quebec City? Anything like this? Any of you? Anywhere? Surely there's got to be something. It's like they're not allowed to get listed. I don't know if it's legislated or what, but that is very, very interesting that nothing is on here. I mean, let's just go over to PEI, see if that even works. I mean, I've been there before, but yes, wow. That's even more interesting than I ever thought it would be setting out to be, that nothing is active in Quebec. It's all just blank. They all just want to be showing in New York and Vermont and Maine and everything else like that, but nothing in Quebec. And so why is that? I mean, if nothing else, I do just kind of want to be zooming back in and seeing this 250-acre lot if I can find it. It's probably just disappeared now, but for the $2.5 million, if I put that bit of a price tag on it, go away. If I put this price tag on a minimum of, what, 2? 2 million? Surely there isn't going to be that many 2 million. There we go. This is the one that I wanted to be looking at for $2.5 million. What do you get? 420 acres. Man, that is nuts. Is that the whole block? That's crazy. Is that a whole golf course? Are you buying a golf course? Are you buying half the lake with it as well? I mean, there's 32 photos and it seems like it's going to mostly be a lot of grass, because I can't imagine the house is 420 acres large. But let's just see. No, wow, nothing else. A 420 acre development lot with just under 5,000 foot of road frontage and 900 foot of owned lake frontage. Why is it only $2.5 million? That feels like it should be a $50 million thing if you have a development lot. So many possibilities, like additional subdivision with development lots. This is crazy. So this is where Australia just does land differently. This would be like a $50 million block of land. If it can be developed, there'll be units on there within 3 years. But these guys, especially Lakeside, I'm surprised they don't do it. For goodness sake, they've already got half the property being a golf course. This property has a state-approved quarry. What? Currently approved at 5 loads a day? This is a strange place, and I feel like I do want to see the rest of the photos to see if I can find this quarry. But what is this block of land? I mean, I know it's not in Quebec, but this is a strange place in, I guess that's Vermont, is it? VT? Man, this is weird. It feels like you're buying a slither of the property for $2.5 million. Like it's a timeshare for $2.5 million. At least that's what it would be. But for $2.5 million, you can buy the whole thing. Allegedly. That's crazy. Why don't more people just snap these up? I mean, look where it is. It's right there. Maybe it's on an island, so it's a bit difficult to access. Unless you're coming over via Canada. Either way, I'm surprised. But I'm still not sure if I'm as surprised at the fact that Montreal or all of Quebec is just not listed. Look at this. You can just see right next door in Ottawa and all of these surrounding areas, they are up for sale. So if we take this back down, what do we have more on offer? Just right next door. Maybe not in Quebec, but right next door in Ottawa, in the middle of Ottawa, what can you get? Ooh, they are some expensive places. My goodness, here we go. So for $674,675,000, this is what you get. Very nice. Okay, I like it. I like what we're seeing. It looks new, but not modern, which is fine. It seems like in Canada, that is just kind of the way to go, that you don't go crazy unless you are going massive sliding doors and just going like $4 million place. You do go more contemporary, even just lean into full heritage. I don't know why there's a stadium there, but either way, this seems quite nice. It's 3 beds, 1 bath. Any other descriptions of it? 1,000-foot lot. Welcome to your charming 2-story townhome. That's interesting. In a vibrant heart of Glebe. Interesting. The British were so not creative, were they? This classic 3-bedroom, 1-bath row home perfectly complements the lively neighborhood atmosphere while offering a low-maintenance lifestyle. That's honestly impressive for $675,000 to be in the middle of the city. I mean, it even said in Glebe, which I guess that once again they weren't very creative about. It's clearly Glebe's going to be either way in the middle of the city, whether it's Sydney or Ottawa. But look at that, it's right in the middle. I don't know what else you could ask for. 3-bedder townhouse or terrace, depending on what you want to be calling it. It said a town home, but for $675,000. That'd be, from what I'm seeing here, that'd be at least $1.5 to $2 million place in Sydney. If that was in Glebe, $3.5 million. 3 beds, you basically can't find such a thing. So that's pretty impressive that we're going straight from the start. You're getting some pretty decent value. It seems like Ottawa's a fairly large city. You know, you're not living in Saskatchewan, but what can you get for $440,000? Obviously a newer building, a bigger, more contemporary way. There was like marble on the floor, different kitchen, but maybe smaller. Seeing things like the forced air, the heating and cooling is just nuts. Like you would never see that in a place. Maybe at this caliber in Australia you would, but I'm sure basically every place in North America seems to have it, and the vast majority of places in Australia don't have it. You might have a split system, but no one really has ducting. I mean, this is a theatre room. Why do you need a theatre room in your big condo? Or I guess it's not in it, but it's just shared amenities. Either way, for $440,000, unless you're, I don't know what is that what it's called? $860 a month HOA. I forget what HOA stands for. In Australia, it's called strata. $860 a month. That's nuts. How is that justifiable? That's crazy. No wonder it's so cheap, because you're just paying for the building. You're renting the building and you happen to put down a deposit of $440,000. That's what it feels like. Crazy. I mean, I guess if that's going to serve your purpose, but I would not be wanting that $840 a month. Moving on now though to a $640,000 place, and what do we have? Nice leaves out the front, looks like a split or shared driveway. Nice quaint little almost cottage looking house. Single story, maybe attic conversion. Actually, it probably has a basement. What am I talking about? It's probably a 3-story house in a 1-story form factor, but nothing fancy on the inside. If someone wanted to renovate it, they absolutely would. If someone didn't want to renovate it, they absolutely could get away with not doing it. That kitchen looks functional enough and clean. Not new, but clean. Those classic cupboards. It all seems like a pretty good deal. How many beds was it? 3? 2 beds, 1 bath for $640,000, getting your own house. This charming 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom home is perfect for both investors and first home buyers. The classic line, 78 days on Zillow, but 0 saves. Wow. I guess that kind of gives you an idea of what the market sentiment is around this place. If nothing else, let's just see what the walk score is around Ottawa, because I haven't looked at that yet. Does it even have it? Where are you? Walk score is 64, bike score 94. This is what I mean. You were in the middle of the city and you were getting well under $1 million places. Like you can't find any, let's just see exactly where it was, but you can't find any house, let alone apartment, that is going to be somewhat nice, but that is in the city. Is that parkland? Is that, let's just go satellite. What is that? Oh, grass growing? Are they like, I don't know what they would be. I don't know why you would be having this in the middle of the city like this. I mean, it looks like in the middle of the city. I don't know how big the urban sprawl truly is, but that is a large area set apart or set aside just for this. Wow. Kind of nice, though, to be living next to, and unless there's some major problem with it. I don't know what it would be, unless there's a fertilizer center and you might be being a bit smelly, but otherwise, it seems like it's pretty good. You were in the middle, for all intents and purposes, of a fairly major city, and you're getting a house, 2 beds, not massive, not modern, but a pretty decent house that you could certainly live in for well under $1 million. Like I said, there was nowhere in your mind, anywhere that anyone could even imagine a price like this for a freestanding home with a garage. It looks like, unless it's not yours in Australia. It doesn't happen. It's not possible. And so now I do want to be going up to the price and go minimum 800,000, maximum $1 million. Well, 850, that'll do. What do you get for your money? Wow. Immediately going into high-rise living. But let's just choose a random one that is right on the $1,998,000 residential home built in 1900. Kind of cool in a way. 4 beds, 3 baths in the middle of the city. Not the widest block in the world, but certainly functional. Any inside photos? 30 photos. Oh, look at this. That's what I mean. Like, look, sometimes photos can be deceiving. Things can come up better in photos, but this looks very clean, very nice, easily otherwise stylized. If you don't like it, you could chuck a coat of paint on it if you wanted to make it more vibrant or feature wall. But the foundations of the home, being built in 1900, look very well kept, look very well renovated at some point. And that's the tiniest little kitchen bench ever, but it seems like a functional home with 4 beds for $1 million. 4 beds, 3 baths. So what do they say? The single family detached home spans 3 stories. I'm surprised it's not 4, because that's, oh no, it is, oh, kind of. Is the attic counted? It could honestly have a basement as well. I love how they say the updated kitchen adds a modern flair to this charming abode. I mean, look, it wasn't old, but like I said, I don't know if this counts as a major living space. You seem to have a bit more bench space over the other side, but it's a funny little layout. Either way though, with 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms for some reason, why would you have 4 beds and 3 baths? Make it a 5 and a 2. Feels like it's more, I don't know, family friendly almost, but including a full loft area on the 3rd floor, currently used as a 4th bedroom. Okay, that makes sense, with a walk-in closet and full bathroom. Right, so they've done a full loft conversion, and it's $1 million in the middle of the city as a freestanding home that has character, but is also nice. This is what I mean. It's crazy. I don't know how you could ever say no to this. You know, people are saying they don't want to live in Saskatchewan because it's in the middle of nowhere, but Ottawa, I'm just amazed by these prices, because it's the capital. Perhaps it's similar to Canberra, like no one really wants to live in Canberra, but it's a bit different because Canberra is in the middle of nowhere on purpose. It was put in its position because it was kind of in the middle of Melbourne and Sydney. Ottawa is an international city that has plenty of things going for it. Montreal right there, Quebec City, chuck down to Vancouver, Toronto, not Vancouver. Vancouver's on the other side, but you could fly over there if you really wanted to. Either way, Ottawa has a lot of things going for it. And the prices aren't super inflated, which is crazy to me because I've been seeing these videos recently that say how hyperinflated everything is and it's completely unobtainable. And at some places, like in Vancouver, I believe it's a very different story, and that makes sense. But really, when you have all these cities that are so close together, that offer so many things, I don't know why you wouldn't just be coming here. Of course, that's just a blanket statement and it can't be for everyone. Not everyone is able to or wants to just pick up their life and relocate. But it just feels like it's so much more of an obtainable thing to actually accomplish the move and not lose out on your quality of life or anything else. I mean, even just looking at this one. Once again, when was it built? 1970? Kind of looks like it, but I'm sure, once again, it's going to be a beautifully renovated to someone's taste, whether it's yours or someone else's. Square set ceilings, downlights, kind of weird fireplace, but like I said, someone's taste, they clearly liked it. Wooden floors or floating floors perhaps. Either way, look at this, for $1 million we got to check exactly where it is. Even though I clicked it, I didn't take it in, so it's on the more outskirts. Looking at the roads, I think I've got it just bang on there. So it's only 8 or 9k as the crow flies out of the city, and for $1 million you were getting a house like this. It's just wild. Built in 1970, who cares? Like the other one was built in 1900s, but just going backwards, look, it's got a nice yard, got a nice tree, nice styling in terms of like the landscaping. I mean, it just seems like a yoga room. Like, what is this place? How many beds was it? 5 here? No, 4 beds, 3 baths. Again, a beautiful fireplace, elegant dining room, stylish chef kitchen, quartz countertops, stainless steel appliances, farmhouse sink, and subway tile with a 2-car garage. Honestly, it's got 15 hours on Zillow, 12 views, 0 saves, but I reckon that one surely will get snapped up. I just don't see how these places aren't just under high demand. Like, look, it's just so good. It just makes so much sense. This is what people in Australia dream of. And so as much as it might not be for everyone, just capitalize on these things, because even though we can't look at what Quebec has, man, right next door, you've got some pretty nice, modern enough homes that offer everything that anyone could really ever want. Modern living, fireplace, big appliance spaces, fans, aircon, I'm sure everything you could ever want is in this for a third of the price that you could find it elsewhere.